Hello Mzansi, welcome to another episode of the Farmer Mentor series brought to you by Farmers Inside Track. Now in this episode, we meet Jerid-Lee Warries, a seasoned farmer with over 12 years of experience cultivating grapes in the picturesque Piketberg region. He shares his story about his early days to becoming a successful farmer at Broodkraal Landgoed Middelpos. We dive deep into his motivations for venturing into table grape farming, how his methods have evolved over the years, and the innovative practices he employs that set his farm apart. Now he also opens about the unique challenges of farming in the Piketberg area, from the unpredictable climate to the financial hurdles that come with running a table grape operation. Let's hear from Jerid.
Welcome to Farmers Inside Track.
I have grown up on a farm where my grandma and my aunts used to work on the farm and my grandfather, but they were just general workers. That's where I grew up. My parents didn't stay on the farm. I stayed with my grandma. I didn't want to go into farming. I wanted to be an architect, and afterwards I wanted to be a marketing manager. But the everyday stories inspired me. When they got home every night talking about home, what is happening outside. The one thing that inspired me was the passion they had for their job, despite that they are only general workers. So that's basically where I grew up. I'm from Paul. I was in Mariap of Christian, which is a Christian school on my primary days. And then my secondary school, I was in Broodkraal High. And after I matriculated in Broodkraal High, I went to Bolland College, where I did a marketing course for 2.5 years. And after that, I did a 1-year course at Elsenburg. And after that, I started as a general worker in 2014. And I've worked my way up where I am today. What really motivated me to start with especially table grapes is that from a young age onwards, I was always between the older people in the vineyards, although I didn't work yet. Like for instance, on school holidays, I would just go and walk between the older people, just listen to their stories, just see what they're doing, asking questions, why they do it. I remember when we were still kids, we were so excited when our parents started to pack the grapes. Always the first day when they started packing the grapes, we were always going to the pack house. That is all the stuff that inspired me to do table grapes. So when I started to work 2014, it's almost like I had a lot of experience by just asking questions while I was still young. And I didn't see myself doing some other things in life, but just table grapes. So that inspired me is really the people, the general workers like my grandparents and my aunts, and how passionate they were doing their job. And that really inspired me. It's not always the money, is how passionate they were. At Broodkraal, we are a really big group. At the moment, we have 552 hectares table grapes, which is underneath, which consists of 10 farms. So we are 10 production managers. My farm is almost 57 hectares that I'm managing. We implemented Broodkraal as a group, like we call it the best practice. So there's some stuff we agree on every year before the season starts. And then we try to implement it together on that manner. But you are still responsible to manage your own farm, to make your own decisions. You don't have to ask permission to make big decisions. You are making your own big decisions. With that comes the consequences that you also have to face when your decision doesn't work out. So that is what makes it nice at Broodkraal. We are a big group, we help each other, but you are also free to make your own decisions and to farm the farm as if it is your farm. Some of the challenges we are facing in Piketberg is we have a lot of rain in the winter, which is really nice for us. The rain helps us a lot because we need the water. We don't have the best soil. Our soil is very salty. So a lot of rain in the winter helps us to flush the salt out of the soil. But the challenges we are facing is like our temperature increase very late. We still have a cold September. And for instance, in September, let's say the first blocks is starting to give life. And that's when you need heat. And then we don't always have that heat. We always have a slow start to the season. But from October and November onwards, we have extreme heat. So then what happens is then everything is happening fast. So we don't have a lot of challenges. We have very dry summers here. So which is also a big challenge because for instance, last year when we have packed our sweet globe in Piketberg, we had, let's say, a full week of dry heat. 40 plus degrees, which had a big effect on our sweet globe, because what happened is we received many quality complaints regarding that specific sweet globe which we have packed in the heat. And sometimes we get summer rainfall, which don't happen a lot, but if it happens, it can also damage a lot of our grapes. We are building quite a lot of markets in the past years. To just give you an idea, previously we have packed mostly for the UK markets, and the Far East were our peak markets, and a little bit of China. But we have a good marketing manager, Jerid-Lee. He's doing the marketing of our whole company. So in the last 3 years, we are taking a lot of our grapes to the USA and to Canada, to the UK now as well, to the Far East. But for the past 2 years, we didn't send any grapes to China, but we are big in the Far East, we are big in the UK, we are big in the USA, and we are big in Canada. So that is our market. And we try to build strong relationship with the markets and with our clients by providing the best grapes for the best quality, because that is how you build a good relationship with your client. You must make sure that they receive the best product that we promise we will give them. So quality is for us a big thing, because quality builds good relationships. I would say mistakes that I've made in the past, you must make mistakes to learn. So maybe in the past I was in a hurry to do stuff. I was over eager to do stuff. But in the couple of years, the more I've grown up, the more I have matured, and I've made mature decisions to not always be in a hurry, to do research, to make the best decision. Because in table grapes, when you're in a hurry, you don't make the correct decision, it can cost you. It can cost you for the whole season. The biggest lesson I've learned over the past few years is to first overthink something before I make a decision, and to think for the future before I make a decision. So I think in the past I would make fast decisions, but now I overthink my decisions. I consider a lot of factors. First of all, climate, the weather. There's a lot of stuff I consider before I make a decision, and I think it's helping me a lot. The best advice I can give someone who wants to start farming with table grapes is one of the most intensive farming, because you can farm with citrus, you can farm with maybe blueberries, maybe apples. It doesn't matter, because just like citrus doesn't take a lot of labor. So there's a certain time of the year that you are very busy with the citrus when you are picking it, and there's some time of the year when you are not that busy. But table grapes is not that simple. Table grapes is very intensive. So the best advice I can give to someone who wants to start farming with table grapes is the one job that you can't easily study for it. You must have the passion for it. You must have the passion to work with a lot of people. You must have the passion, the feeling inside of you when you are walking in the vineyards and you want to make a decision, because there's basically how I make my decision. I would just walk through the vineyards and the decision would come from the inside. So table grapes is the one job that you have. You must have the passion to do it. If you don't have the passion to work with people, and if you don't have the passion to work with table grapes, then it's going to be a difficult route for you, because table grapes is one thing that desires a lot of passion. Not always a lot of experience, not always a lot of learning, not always a lot of degrees you must have in order to do table grapes. But the person who has the biggest passion is always the best farmer in table grapes.
That was, of course, Jerid-Lee Warries, a farmer with over 12 years of experience farming with table grapes in Piketberg. You can of course read more on this topic by visiting www.foodfromzansi.co.za. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss any of the episodes. From me, Duncan Masiwa, our technical producer Megan van der Vent, and the rest of #Team Food from Zanzi, thanks for listening.